Meantime, an RFK Jr.-backed vaccine panel now pushing for new restrictions on a combination shot for children, changing the current recommendations that allow children under 4 to receive the MMR vaccine. And this morning, the hepatitis B vaccine vote also was put off. They cited a lack of data. A vote expected later, also on COVID shot recommendations. All right, let's try and make sense of all this. Mizuho healthcare sector strategist Jared Holz joins us here at Post 9. I guess from an investor perspective first, let's just start there. What does this all mean for those companies, certainly that at least have some of their profitability coming from vaccines?
Yeah, we've looked at, Merck, Moderna, Pfizer, and in totality, I just don't think the vaccines have that much value anymore. We've kind of shaken off all the noise around vaccines to some degree. I mean, since RFK came in, there's been so much fear around what he's going to do with the entire vaccine complex. But when you look at the stocks, I don't think there's that much value in them. The only exception would probably be Moderna as a pure play.
Well, and then mRNA as well. They don't like that either, right?
Right.
The actual technology.
Right. The mRNA technology has been obviously very controversial. In some ways, like, the damage is done since we've been talking about COVID-19 vaccines and all the opposition. I'm not sure the panel or the committee that's meeting this week is going to change it all that much as far as like how the general public views it.
Yeah, there's a lot of other things going on here as well, though. I mean, let me take it to Vinay Prasad, who I hear from a lot of healthcare investors is not somebody they're particularly fond of right now. A number of potential approvals not happening, even though they might have been expected to based on the underlying data. Is that a concern in the investment community that you service?
I think it was a big concern at first. I think the fact that he left and came back is probably, you could argue, positive. Maybe more pragmatic decisions are made. There's not so much a sort of a fly-by-night policy when it comes to approving or not approving drugs. We'll see. I really haven't been taken aback that much about approvals or lack of approvals. There are FDA headlines circulating every day. That kind of implies that there is work being done at the agency and they are taking a serious approach with drug development and approvals.
I get the Merck and Pfizer, like that it's a piece of their revenue, the vaccines. But what about a Moderna? What is the future of a company like that in this environment?
I think they're in deep trouble. This is a company that could see its revenue decline significantly. They spend tons of money on R&D and SG&A a year. We're obviously past peak pandemic by a number of years. It's unlikely that it resurfaces. Plus, there's a lawsuit between Moderna and Roivant over IP for the vaccine. If they lose it, they owe the company north of $2, potentially $3 billion for a company that can't really afford to spend any extra money. So they are in trouble. And obviously, I think as we move forward, the revenue for Moderna in all likelihood declines. There are a lot of models out there that suggest they're going to make more revenue in the out years. It just doesn't seem plausible.
More broadly, just beyond recommendations or guidance, or there's this brewing argument that the administration, seeing the midterms a year out, worried about stubborn inflation, will try to implement soft price controls, certainly on energy and pharma. Is that going to be material next year?
It's already material. I mean, we've seen what's happened with the IRA. They're talking about most favored nations. I don't really believe that there is a political faction that is for drug pricing or for pharma. It doesn't seem like there is. I mean, we were concerned under the Biden administration. I think the Trump administration is similar but noisier. So I really don't think that there is a regime out there that's going to be beneficial net for pharma. Will they figure out a way to navigate it? Cost cuts, M&A, yes, but I think that's certainly a concern.
Finally, I mean, so many different things to track here. And they're also trying to crack down on advertising, I think. I don't know how important that is, but a drug like Opdivo, one of the great drugs of all time. I mean, how many lives have been saved? You know, They apparently have problems with the way they listed side effects during a particular ad. Is that a concern?
I don't think it's a concern on the part of investors yet. I think that's more of a concern on the part of the industry as far as, you know, it's such a difficult business to run as is. If you take away the DTC, which is really more for messaging and to promote these products, which a lot of people obviously need, I think we're hearing more pressure coming from management teams than we are investors, just because it's difficult to really ascertain what the DTC efforts mean from a financial standpoint, from a modeling standpoint. But yeah, I mean, the advertising is rampant. If you watch any NFL game, every other commercial is a drug commercial.
Yeah. So, all right. So finally, just end here. What do you like here in this sector then?
I like biotech. I mean, biotech is the only space that I've really been positive on over the past couple of months. All of the negatives that we talked about at length here for a number of years, I think are starting to abate. We're seeing a little bit less pressure when it comes to the overall climate. I think there's more drug development that's being done, not less, if you look at the amount of money that venture is raising. And the denominator is shrinking, which is hugely important. The 2015 through 2020 IPO craze, so to speak, kind of pushed out a bunch of assets into the public domain that were not ready. We're seeing a lot of those either start to go by the wayside, get acquired, give cash back. So biotech is the only space that I've really been bullish on.